What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, let's start today with the front person tier list. Who are the best front people? Front men or women or non-binary folks, it doesn't matter. This is an equal opportunity list. It doesn't have to be rock and metal. I'd imagine that's where a lot of us will probably be thinking, but it could be anybody. And how are we going to pick these people? Well, I'm going to rank them in 3 ways. Number 1, how good are they at whatever they do? You know, singing, playing guitar, dancing, whatever. Obviously, if somebody is a absolute freak talent, that's got to count for something, right? On the other hand, the second dimension is how charismatic are they? How much do people like them? How popular are they? These are sometimes two things that, you know, kind of don't necessarily go together, right? I mean, there's some people who are not the most talented musicians in the world, but are super charismatic and they kind of get by on that. Nothing wrong with that. I respect it. And then the third dimension that we will be looking at is how much do I want to be friends with them? Just me personally. Do I like this person? Do I want to be friends with this person? Do I want to have them over to watch UFC and look at TikToks together? These are the 3 dimensions that we will be looking at. But first, I'd like to thank Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video. As you may have seen, I've been working with Trade Coffee for a while now, and they have sent me quite a few coffees to try. If you're a coffee fan, it's actually pretty cool. The way they do it is you take this survey on their website where you tell them how you like your coffee, what your taste preferences are, like dark or light, whatever. And then they match you to the best roasteries in their network based on the taste testing that their experts do. They taste like hundreds and hundreds of coffees, and they will match you up with the ones that are the best fit for what you say. For example, the latest one I got is this from Cafe Vita here in Seattle. They have roasteries all over the country. Everything they ship is super fresh, so you're not getting that stale stuff from the grocery store, and you get to support a small local business, which is pretty cool. I always kind of look forward to seeing what they send me every month. I really like seeing the different branding and packaging and where it comes from. And they have a great guarantee if you're nervous about trying something new. If you don't like the coffee for any reason, just let them know and they will send you a brand new bag for free. So if that sounds cool and you want to check out Trade Coffee, right now Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/Finn or click the link in the description of this video. That is more than 40 cups of coffee for free. Get started by taking their quiz at drinktrade.com/Finn and let Trade find a coffee that you will love. That's drinktrade.com/Finn for $30 off. Let's start with somebody that we all know. Just as a way to get the conversation started, we'll start with Corey Taylor, because everyone knows Corey Taylor. Easy place to start, right? Where do we think Corey Taylor belongs? And you're right, from the chat. You got to say Corey MF Taylor. You're right. We got to say Corey MF Taylor because Corey MFing Taylor must be stopped. I respect Corey Taylor very much. I do. I think he's a fantastic frontman, but we all have misses. We all make mistakes, and I would say that CMFT must be stopped was definitely one of his. It was a mistake. Let's just be real. In terms of his ability as a frontman, I think he's fucking fantastic. Incredible vocalist. You know, their new song to me really proved that. How old is he now? 48 or something like that. He's been doing this for a long time. The dude's amazing. Fantastic vocalist. Super charismatic. Everybody pays attention to Corey Taylor, right? Because all of us in the commentary kind of space, all of us in the quote unquote music media, let's be honest, we're all bottom feeders. All we do is wait for Corey Taylor to do something or say something, and then we comment on it. We are bottom feeders. We do not eat without Corey Taylor, so respect to him for that. Where would we be if we couldn't make blog posts and videos about what does Corey Taylor think about what MGK said about what Corey Taylor thinks about pop punk after somebody in a pop punk band mentioned Corey Taylor mentioning MGK? Where would we be without this? I will say, however, Stone Sour, the old stuff is really bad. Ooh. That's some old school rock and freaking roll. To be fair, you know, Corey Taylor has basically said that this stuff sucks, so let's give him some credit for that. My question is just, what did they see in him based on that that would have led them to choose him as the vocalist for Slipknot? That's my question, because that's not good, and it's not heavy. Like, there's nothing about that would make me think that he is capable of being who he is in Slipknot, because I think he's a fucking amazing vocalist. Like, even now, this new shit sounds incredible. One of the best metal voices of all time, in my opinion. I think he's amazing. So my question, though, is like, hearing that, what made them think, oh yeah, that's the guy for Slipknot? I don't know. But obviously they knew something that I didn't, because the dude is a fucking great singer. He is a great frontman. And so, you know, within the context of rock and metal, I would put him on the S tier. And do I want to be friends with him? That's the third category. Yeah, I bet he's a cool guy. I make fun of some of the boomerish things he says in the media, but he seems like a good dude. I like him. He seems like a cool guy. I'd be friends with him. If people in the media gave a shit about what I think, you know, you could certainly write an equal number of articles, you know, making fun of my boomerish takes as well. So, yeah, that's where I put him. S tier, that's where he belongs. That's what I think. Who's next? How about Tom Delong? There's another good one. Tom Delong of Blink-182. We all know who Tom Delong is, right? Trying to find a good picture of him with like peak 2000s drip. The Hurley shirt. Yeah, let's go with this. Where would we put Tom DeLong? Well, he's a bad vocalist. Let's just get that out there, right? And I think he would agree with me. He knows who he is. He's not a good vocalist. But he is a fantastic songwriter. Really, really, really fucking good songwriter. And even though he's not technically good at singing, there's something about his vocals that is great in its own way. I mean, you hear the stuff, the Blink stuff without him, is okay. Matt Skiba's very good at being Matt Skiba, but he's not Tom DeLong. And that's what we want. You know, we want Tom DeLong because, you know, say what you want about his imperfections as a vocalist, there is something he does that is pretty great. And he's super charismatic, super entertaining guy. He's the blueprint for the pop punk aesthetic. You're right. So let's talk about influence too. Every TikTok pop punk rapper kind of dude now, from Jaden to MGK to, you know, Lil Lotus to everybody, is all emulating what Tom DeLong did back in the day, right? You guys know that whenever I'm talking about this, drip is always a factor. I mean, am I going to say that drip is more important than anything else? No, but yes. I mean, the whole band, but really it's Tom, is also the blueprint for the whole aesthetic, right? Not just his vocals, but the whole aesthetic. I mean, look at this. The Hurley shirt, Hurley Volcom, and whatever Mark's wearing, I don't know, with the gelled up hair, the lip rings. I like how he's hover handing Travis here. That's a very advanced move, to hover hand your own bandmate. All these TikTok pop punk rappers, they brought back the sound, but they haven't brought back the aesthetic, and that's what's missing to me. If you're going to emulate Tom's voice, you got to emulate the aesthetic too. You got to wear a fitted hat at a jaunty angle like this. It's mandatory, my friends, mandatory. Look at this. I want to start wearing sunglasses. Actually, I've got a pair of sunglasses right here. I want to start wearing sunglasses more often just so I can do this. I feel like that's like the ultimate 80s Chad move, is to be like, excuse me, dorkwad? Say what? Puka shell wallet chain. Yes, exactly. But they got to bring it back. Yeah, the way Tom sings tonight is one of the most vocally copied things in music today. It's true. And you know, the in my head thing, it's true. I mean, Tom, say what you want about his limitations as vocalist. The dude is the blueprint for that whole style. You got to give him some credit for that. And he is super charismatic. Very, very, very entertaining guy. Hilarious on stage. Like, it's tough as a three-piece band to control like an audience like that, or to have that kind of stage presence. And I think they totally did. And it's because of him. It's not the same without him. And do I want to be friends with him? Gosh, that's a tough one. I do want to be friends with him. The UFO stuff is tough. I'll be honest, it's tough. He was on Joe Rogan, like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, whenever it was, talking about UFOs and all this stuff, and it was tough to listen to. Apparently, some of the stuff he said ended up being true, I guess. Apparently. But it was tough. He was just like talking about how he had all these secret government documents, but he can't talk about what's in them, but blah, blah, blah. And The alien stuff is rough. Would you want to be friends with 2002 Tom or 2020 Tom? Exactly. I want to be friends with 2002 Tom. I feel like 2020 Tom is a little too weird for me, but I might be wrong. You know, maybe that stuff is just exaggerated by the media. I don't know. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because I like Tom. I love Blink. I'm going to put him on the S tier. We're just going to pretend the alien stuff isn't a thing. Like, you know, you have that friend who you really like, but they're into some weird thing that they talk about occasionally, and it makes you just kind of go, oh, please don't talk about this. Yeah, hentai. Exactly. Yeah, a friend who's into hentai. You know, the coolest guy in the world, but you know that when he goes home, he's firing up his browser, and I don't know where the place is to find hentai these days, but you know that he's going to go find some new hentai and have at it afterwards, and you're like, oh, please. Don't show me pictures of your new waifu pillow because I really like you. That's how I feel about Tom DeLong. I'm just gonna like cover my eyes, plug my ears, just la 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 la. I can't hear you when the alien stuff comes up because I want to be his friend. Who's next? Yeah, how about Varg? Someone know who Varg is? From Burzum, the face of the black metal movement, probably a Nazi. I gotta show you my favorite. I'm trying to find the one of him doing karate in his backyard. Maybe it's been deleted. Oh yes, here it is.
This fine piece of Norwegian biological engineering also needs to warm up. It's getting kind of old.
Those are pajama pants. You gotta make sure you practice swimming in your armor to get ready for the apocalypse. Those are pajama pants, you're right. Didn't realize we were watching Duck Dynasty. Yes, to quote a wise Brooklyn bro, Varg is and always has been a very entertaining loser. He is a piece of shit. He is a murderer. He killed somebody. Very entertaining. But do I want to be friends with him? No, I sure don't. Because the dude is an actual piece of shit Nazi murderer. He made some entertaining music. He's an actual piece of shit. He's like an actual Nazi. Actual scum. Actual piece of shit. The dude, it belongs on the F tier. There's no way around that. No way around that. A$AP Rocky, that's a good one. Where does A$AP Rocky belong? Well, I don't love his music, but objectively is very good. His influence's importance is very, very, very high. I would say, you know, A$AP Rocky is probably one of, if not the person responsible for hip hop and high fashion crossing over the way that they do now, which to me has been one of the most important developments in like the history of rap. You know, the fact that there are rappers who, you know, do, like, I think he's done some runway shows, right? Nobody was doing that before. Like, that was fucking unheard of. Him and Kanye are for sure the people responsible for that. Nobody was doing that before they were. And he's got to get some credit for that. You know, do I want to be friends with him? You know, he actually seems like a pretty cool guy. There's a good interview with him. I think it was on the Breakfast Club. I don't remember, where he's talking about being in jail with Casanova and Casanova like defending him because there were some dudes that wanted to take his shoes or whatever, but Cass stood up for him, and so he survived being in Rikers for a week or whatever. He seems like an all right guy. Honestly, just based on his influence in fashion alone and like his importance within hip hop, I would say he's got to be S tier. He's important. That's what I will say. Scott Stapp. Let's talk about Scott Stapp. That's a good one. I will say this. We all laugh at Scott Stapp. He's the butt of a joke now, and understandably for a lot of reasons. But I will say, here we are, 20 years after their prime. We're talking about him, aren't we? And that is the front person's job, is to command attention and keep it, right? Not just to be a singer. Let's be honest. He's not a great singer. I would say he is a bad singer. Like, we got to watch his national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see?
Look at those Oakleys. So many Oakleys there. I got to start wearing Oakleys. I feel like it's time.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars. Signals that star-spangled banner,
yet we Imagine it's the War of 1848 and the American troops are trying to march into battle, but this dude is singing it, and you're like, fuck this, I'm out. There we go. You start your stream with this every time. I love the Stir Sprinkled Burner. This definitely does feel like a parody. Now, all of that being said, here we are. I'm just some fucking loser in a spare bedroom talking about Scott Stapp on the internet for clout. So who's the fucking loser? Is it Scott Stapp or is it me? And here you guys are watching me talk about Scott Stapp. You guys are even bigger losers than both of us. Let's just admit, is he a great vocalist? No. But I would say 20 years later, people are still talking about him. I'd say that puts him on a solid B tier. The dude is still, you know, people still talk about him. I'd say he deserves to be on the B tier for that. Respect to Scott Stapp. And you know what? He does seem like an okay guy. He had his moments, like, I think he had a pretty serious issue with substance abuse and stuff, and probably some mental health issues and stuff like that. Had his moments back in the day, but he seems like a decent guy. He really does. I could be wrong. Maybe he's a total asshole. I don't know. Probably old school Scott Stapp when he was still having a lot of issues with drugs and mental health. Probably not someone I'd want to be around, but he seems like a decent guy. Like, if he lived on my block, I wouldn't be unhappy about that. Yeah, Danny Warsnap. That's a good one. Let's talk about Danny Warsnap. For those who don't know, gosh, here's a good one. He is the singer of Asking Alexandria, and I think he is one of the best fucking vocalists in their world. The dude is a fucking beast. Let's listen to a couple examples of it for anyone who's not familiar. I don't like their new music, so it's hard for me to sort of be objective about it. This is him at the Mitch Lucker Memorial Show. So if you remember this was, whatever, a couple years after Mitch died. They got everybody together to do Suicide Silence covers, like a bunch of different vocalists with Suicide Silence as the backing band. This is insane. Like, listen to this. It's very, very fucking impressive. And he has some solo stuff that's quite interesting. Yes, he went country for a while, which was an interesting move. Danny Warsnap is obviously British, and out of the blue, he kind of reinvented himself as like an American redneck. I still don't know what this was all about. He needs to be deported for this. It is advanced. I'm on board with it. Yeah, it's like he was trying to become the scene Kid Rock. I genuinely want to know what he was thinking. Like, this is weird, but the fact that he can do this and do that Mitch Lucker shit is fucking crazy. The dude's a ridiculously good vocalist. And then here's like a pop song that he did. This sounds like the music that they would play at Macy's during the holiday sale. The dude's so good. In and out of my life. That $2 talk in that $1 million smile. Oh, not again. The scene, Michael Buble. The dude is fucking legit. You know, he said a lot of dumb shit and he seems like kind of an obnoxious guy. Say what you want, but he is a fucking extremely good musician. You cannot fucking hate on that. The dude is really, really, really fucking good. You know, vocal ability, I would say he's fucking excellent. Charisma, I would say pretty high on the list. Would I want to be friends with him? I feel like I would probably enjoy, you know, going out to dinner with him and his wife for, you know, a night or something like that. But I would say Danny it's probably a little bit too obnoxious for me. That's what I would say. Probably a cool guy. But I would say I'll put him in the C tier. You know, we can't put him above Scott Stapp because Asking Alexander is just not in the same league as Creed. Let's just be honest. Dave Mustaine. Yes, how about that? Dave Mustaine. Horrible, horrible vocalist. Absolutely awful. He's a birther. That's a problem. I'm not one to cancel people because of their politics, but when you get into just crazy town like that, that's a problem. So he's a birther, terrible vocalist, great guitarist. You know, he is pretty charismatic. Again, if we define charisma as the ability to attract people's attention and retain it, he's certainly done that for 30 fucking years or whatever, right? Over 30 years. I think he's a pretty charismatic dude. Do I want to be friends with him? Fuck no. Fuck no, I do not want to be friends with Dave Mustaine. But I think he, I'd put him on the same tier as Scott Stapp. I think that's fair, right? Phil Anselmo, how about that? Well, I love Pantera, one of my favorite bands of all time. That is a band that I still consistently listen to. The first question people will have, or first thing that people will talk about, they'll say that he's racist, and maybe he is. That could be true. He did that thing where he was on stage and he said white power. I don't know the guy, so I'm just guessing. My personal opinion is that he was just drunk and edgy and trying. I think he intended that as some sort of a joke or something like that did not land. I could be wrong. He might be an actual, he might be an actual racist. That's just my opinion. I don't know. It's definitely a stupid fucking thing to do. That's for sure. If he is an actual racist, that's a problem. I don't think he is, but there's no way to know. In terms of his ability, as a vocalist, he's fucking incredible. His range is ridiculous. I hate this song, but great vocals. Dude is a fucking monster. A monster. And, live, look at this shit. They're playing in Russia. And this is before they were big. I mean, obviously they were sort of big, but this is them playing in Russia in like 1990 to fucking 500,000 people and crushing it. Controlling the whole crowd like they're fucking Metallica. Insane fucking frontman, like ridiculously good vocalist, ridiculous stage presence. He was like the blueprint for every fucking dude in the 90s metal scene. No question. Like everybody started like, having a dude with a shaved head that wore fucking shorts like this, cargo shorts, and acted like a tough guy on stage. Everybody did it. So I think in terms of influence and vocal ability, you got to put Phil at the top of the list. Do I want to be friends with him? Gosh, I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. I don't have room in my life for people with his kind of energy. Let's put it that way. Good dude, I think. If he lived down the street, I'd be stoked. I'd say hi to him and, shoot the shit for a while. But I don't know that I would want him to like actually come over to my house. Let's put it that way. I feel like that could get awkward and, But that said, I would put him as the S tier. That's what I would say. We got to put Hayley Williams on here, don't we? Because this would not be complete without her. And you guys know where I'm going to put her, because I've already talked about her many times. You guys know where she goes. Oh, look at these bangs. This is unfortunate. Why does anybody get bangs like this? Why? You can't really argue with Hayley's ability, right? I mean, you guys probably seen this video, but just in case you haven't, let's look at this one. I need the other one to hold you, make you feel better. But when our fingers interlock, can't deny you were there. 'Cause after all this time, I'm still into you. Unmixed vocals sound bad for the most part. Like even from good vocalists, it sounds shitty. Like unmixed vocals sound dumb and bad. And for her to sound this good just in the booth is pretty amazing. She's fantastic. Very, very, very good vocalist. I'd say very good front person too. You look at these videos of her playing big shows when she was like, 18, 19 years old. I barely knew how to tie my fucking shoes when I was 19. I worked at Office Max when I was 19. And she's controlling these huge crowds. Still does. People still love her. Super charismatic. Would I be friends with her? Yeah, I would. We have a lot of mutual friends. I don't know her. I've never met her. We have a lot of mutual friends. I feel like she'd probably be stoked to come over and watch HGTV and, eat some vegan ice cream or something like that. Low drama. Nice person. I would be friends with her. Yeah, why not do Avril? What do we think of Avril? Where does she belong? Is she a front person? Yes. I'm judgy. Well, I mean, isn't that what you do when you make a tier list? Isn't the nature of a tier list being judgy? How would you make a tier list without being judgy? Only rank, no judge. I don't think that she gets enough credit as a vocalist. She's very good. I think she's a fantastic singer. I think she is also a super charismatic person. I mean, again, Here it is 20 years after she came out, and we are all talking about her. She's still relevant. She has a new song with Travis Barker that's awesome. Would I like to be friends with her? I think so. I've never met her, but we have several mutual friends. I know a guy that played guitar for her for a long time, and I know Maud's son, her boyfriend, and he's a great guy. So I feel like Avril and I would be friends. Dude, she seems like a nice person. Don't know much about her on a personal level, but based on the people we know in common, I would say yes. So who is A tier? That's a good question. We need some A tier folks. And one of those people I would say is Gerard Way. Since he came up in the chat, I would say Gerard Way is because he is he's pretty good vocalist. Not fantastic, but he's good. A charismatic guy for sure. But, you know, would I put him on the same level as Hayley or Tom DeLong or A$AP Rocky? You know, I don't think we can. I think that his appeal is sort of a little bit more limited than theirs. But would I be friends with him? Yes, absolutely. I don't know him personally, but we know a lot of the same people. He seems like a good guy. I like him. Probably a little weird, but that's okay. I know a lot of weird people. I like him. So I would say he belongs on the A tier, which is not a bad thing. I mean, can't get butthurt because your favorite artist didn't make it to the S tier. He's not weird, just geeky. Weird and geeky are close enough to me. If you're into comics, you're weird in my book. If you're an adult who's into comics, it's not my thing. Yes, exactly. Geeky is a subset of weird. Exactly. Who else? Marilyn Manson. That dude is a piece of shit. There's so much bad stuff about Marilyn Manson. I'm just going to go ahead and put him on the F tier right now. Marilyn Manson is a piece of shit who belongs on the same tier as Varg, because a piece of shit is a piece of shit, and we got to say it. Let's talk about Lady Gaga really quick. Let me know in the chat, is anybody a Gaga fan? This was her breakthrough song. I remember when this came out. God damn it, what a song. Fuck, she was like 23 when she did this. 23, can you fucking imagine doing this when you're fucking 23? She is an incredible songwriter, ridiculous vocalist. I'm a Gaga fan. I'm a Gaga stan. I will always be on Team Gaga. She's got to be S tier. One of the best to ever do it. Super talented, super charismatic, super creative, and seems like a really, really nice person. I would definitely like to be friends with her. She's a little weird. So I don't know. I might want to just sort of keep her a little bit at arm's length. Like, I wouldn't want her to stay with us for like a whole week, but I would like her to be in our circle of friends. That would be cool. Danzig, that's a good one. How about Danzig? Danzig that band fucking sucks. That's a good picture of him. Yeah, here we go. Here's the iconic photo. I wonder if there's something, I mean, obviously there's something wrong with him, but he's so odd that, like, I wonder if it's more than just being, you know, your typical narcissist musician. I wonder if there's something more to it. He's such an odd guy. Where do we put Danzig? I'd say he's, you know, he's an okay vocalist. Not great, but not terrible. Charismatic, he is. He is charismatic. 40 years later, whatever, here we are still talking about him. He wrote some decent songs in the Misfits. Kind of basic, but some decent songs. Do I want to be friends with him? Absolutely fucking not. The dude is also responsible for making comics and horror popular in alternative music, which are two of my least favorite things. I hate comics, and I hate horror, and I hate, like, all that nerdy shit. You guys know my feelings about this. As a Chad, I hate that nerdy shit all you guys are into. He's partly to blame for that. So I'm going to put him on the D tier, below Danny Warsnop. Blame him for comics. Blame him for your fixation on big titty goth girls. It's his fault. No 18 Visions without the Misfits. I don't care about that though. But I don't care. But there's no anybody without whoever first decided to bang two rocks together. But we're not going to put the guy that invented fire on the tier list just because he came first. We don't care who did it first. It doesn't matter. How about Sugar Ray? Yes. Let's talk about Sugar Ray. So first of all, you know, one of my favorite things is to refer to the singer of some like normie band as the band name. Like, oh, I met Aerosmith at the airport. He was really nice. Or I ran into Soundgarden at Safeway. He was so friendly. He signed my copy of his album. Like, I love him. I can't wait to tell my son that I met Soundgarden. With that in mind, we're going to talk about Mark Mcgrath, but from now on, we're going to refer to him as Sugar Ray because that's who he is to me. Now, what many people don't know is that they started out as a rock band. What a devastatingly handsome guy, Jesus. And then, of course, they turned into the Sugar Ray that we all know. You have to do this when you're listening to this song. I respect that they like deliberately decided to sell out. I heard an interview with him on Loveline where he was talking about this, and he was basically like, well, when we were doing the rock stuff, I was working construction and we were making no money. And I was like, fuck this. I have no other skills. I'm not a great musician. Let's try to make some money. And they did. I respect it. He seems like a good dude that I would totally be friends with. Of course, we have to watch this though.
Sugar gay. Who said sugar gay? I'm kicking your fucking ass.
Who called me sugar gay? I'm gonna kick your fucking ass.
Did you say something? No, I did not say anything. Choke your fucking head.
I'll choke your fucking head. I love this.
Get your autograph, man. Oh man. Yeah, you can. All right, cool. I'll choke your fucking face. You say it again.
I'll choke your fucking face. Just what a fucking Chad. Listen to his shit talk. I'll choke your fucking face if you say that again. God, if I looked like him, I would act like this 24/7.
Tweeze your nipples, bro.
I'll tweeze your nipples, bro. He's got to be joking at least a little bit here.
I heard you say something. Hey, I'll fuck you in the ass.
Said something about I'll fuck you in the ass.
You're done.
Look, he's trying not to laugh here. He knows what he's doing. I think he knows what he's doing.
See this? See this?
That is an epic Chad moment right there. I tweeted at Mark once trying to make friends. I said, hey, Mark, you seem like a cool guy. I want to be friends. Please reply if you're interested. He didn't reply, but I'm pretty sure he was just busy or something. I'm pretty sure that he's going to get around to it. I'm pretty sure that he did want to be friends. He just probably, I don't know, there's probably something wrong with his phone or I don't know. He's going to reply one of these days, I'm sure. All I know is that Sugar Ray is an S-tier frontman based, if nothing else, on the Sugar Gay clip. Fill that E tier up before you go. Okay, yeah, last one. Who's E tier? Morrissey. I do sort of like how much Morrissey antagonizes his fans. Kind of like that. Yeah, how about Nickelback? Well, yeah, we're going to refer to Chad Kroger as Nickelback because, again, with people like this, the frontman is synonymous with the band. So you would say, hey, I met Nickelback at the Outlet Mall the other day. He was actually really nice. Nickelback did marry Avril Lavigne. That's true. He did. It's been a long time, though. Avril Lavigne hasn't been married to Nickelback in a long time. We're going to put him in E tier. Let's just figure out why. Why does he belong in E tier? Is he a great vocalist? He is not. Is he charismatic? You know, he's actually pretty unlikable. The band has sold a lot of fucking records and respect for that. But no, nobody likes him. Nobody likes Nickelback. Let's talk about the quality of his lyrics. Because there's something else. Let's put it that way. I've played this before, but... Created by DJ Rockers 12345. DJ Rocker 12345. Yes. S is for the simplicity. Sex is always the answer. These lyrics are beyond iffy. Sympathy is not a word. However, I do have to play this to give him a little bit of credit. Have we heard this? It's fucking unreal. This is unreal. Listen to how fucking good this is. This band is no joke. I love this song, by the way. This is my favorite Metallica song by a millionfold. Listen. It's fucking good. Say what you want, but they're legit. That said, we got to put Nickelback. We're going to put him in the E tier. Respect for how much money they've made. Respect for how many records they have sold. Respect for their God tier production. But as a frontman, I'm going to put Nickelback in the E tier. And with that, we will conclude the Frontperson tier list. Maybe we'll do another one. I feel like I could keep going for hours here. But for now, we will conclude this edition of the Frontman tier list. E is for the simplicity. You're right.